What was it like working at Pinewood Studios, going in the home of Bond?
It was incredible. You know, there's an historical aspect to it, and one, you know, is it's an incredible, you know, nostalgic feeling too, because you felt like all the Bond films have been made there, and in that sense, there's sort of this incredible, beautiful element of history there, and that's really exciting.
And you had so many people working and creating more than 14 interiors for you, and the 007 stage as well. What do you think about the craftsmen, the artisans, the technical expertise there?
I think they're extraordinary. You know, I think the craftsmen in England are the best in the world. I mean, they're really so good, the way things are built. And I realized that the first time when I did Finding Neverland here, that just the craftsmanship is so precise and just really, really special.
And it's wonderful, the end scene of the film, which is where those 50 explosives were packed into the 007 stage. I mean, Chris Corbould did very well there, didn't he?
Oh no, he's Chris Corbould is you know, one of the best ever, and definitely the best special effects person I ever worked with. And the great thing about it, I mean, I must say I was a little nervous, you know, being inside the 007 stage and having these explosions going off, because I felt like, oh my God, you know, it's not the first time the stage burned down. So I don't want to be the one who is going to burn it down again.
And you filmed, well, all over the world, really. This is the Bond which has been to most locations than any other. But you also filmed in Britain, and you used an Aldershot army barracks and transformed that into Moscow. What was so special about that location for you?
I thought it just had that sort of feel of a very, like, sort of grey and sort of very, like, sort of cold kind of environment, which sort of I imagined for that scene, and in that sense it worked really, really well.
And Farnborough Airport too.
Yes, I thought that architecture in Farnborough Airport is very special and really, really beautiful and modern. I haven't seen an airport who is so beautifully designed, and I thought it would work really well for Bond.
And you also filmed at Body Flight in Bedford for the free-falling scenes. I mean, that's a great facility.
Yeah, it's a fantastic facility, because until now everybody who shot actually parachute scenes shot the actors against green screen with very strong fans. But we shot sort of in the free fall sort of in that sort of air tunnel. The amazing thing is that the facial expressions would be really, really real, and that was really the thing what I was going after.
The stunts are incredible. I mean, Daniel really brings something different to the role. What do you think he brings to Bond?
I mean, there's so many things he brings to Bond, you know, but definitely, like, alone the physical aspect is that he is such a physical actor and does a lot of stunts himself. So it's really great for the director, because you really can shoot him. You don't have to shoot around a stunt double. Also, in a sense that he brings up. I think Daniel plays the part closer to the way Ian Fleming wrote it than any other Bond ever before.
Yes, it's got that darkness and that sort of emotional inner turmoil.
Yes, exactly.
And you use the landscapes of the world, really, especially in Panama and the desert in Chile, to really reflect what he's going through emotionally.
Yeah, my idea was when I sort of envisioned doing this Bond film, I thought I wanted to set Bond in the desert, because it's sort of the desert isolated, and it really would be a nice place where we feel sort of Bond's emotional struggle as well. And so I thought it would be really, really interesting to set it sort of in the Atacama Desert and set him there like Bond against the sort of the desert landscape.
And what do you hope people will take away with them from watching your film?
I think they hopefully will take away the sort of this emotional journey of Bond, but at the same time, sort of there are just a lot of sort of tiny messages about the world in general and the time we live in, and I hope they take some of that as well with them as well. And
you've paid homage to many of the old Bond movies. I mean, Goldfinger being one.
Yes, I sort of wanted to do that because I love Goldfinger, and I sort of loved that sequence, and I thought there's actually one shot I just took right out of Goldfinger, and I had actually sort of a little printout on set where I looked at the frame and just set up the camera the same way.
I've got to talk about Gemma Arterton, our Kent girl, because we're ever so proud of her. She's a real rising star. I mean, what was she like to work with? What do you think about her ability?
I think Gemma is really, really gifted and brilliant, and I think she will have a really long and brilliant career.
And then she has a very iconic moment in the film where we won't give it away to fans.
Yeah.
But generally Daniel, going back to him, I mean, he has a quality that nobody else has.
No, he definitely has a very, very special quality, and is just a really, truthfully, a brilliant and multi-layered actor, and I think he's the best Bond ever.
And was it daunting you taking on this project?
Yeah, I mean, Casino Royale was the most successful Bond ever, so the expectations were huge, and the pressure was enormous for me in that sense. You know, everybody, last time everybody was sort of watching at Daniel and seeing, okay, how is he going to work out? And this time around, he proved himself. Everybody was watching me. Oh, how come they hired a director who never did action before?
Well, there's certainly loads of action in it, and it's fabulous. Thank you so much,
Thank
Mark.
you so much.